Big changes are coming to traffic management in Western Australia, specifically how we document site checks. Starting January 1st, 2025, video recording will become mandatory for most temporary traffic management on main roads worksites. That's right, no more relying solely on written reports or static photos. This new regulation requires organizations to conduct video drive-throughs of their worksites, capturing the entire traffic guidance scheme they've implemented. Think of it as a dash cam for your roadwork project. And these recordings aren't just for a quick glance either. They need to be stored for at least 7 days and be readily available if main roads request them. This means maintaining clear records of when and where each recording was taken. Now, all this might sound a bit overwhelming, but it's all geared towards improving safety and accountability on our roads. Imagine a scenario where an incident occurs near a worksite. Having a video record of the traffic management set up at the time could be invaluable in determining responsibility and ensuring a fair outcome. These video recordings become even more crucial when we consider the legal landscape. In Western Australia, individuals have up to 6 years to file a negligence claim following an incident, and another year to serve the writ. This means that thorough documentation, including video evidence, needs to be readily available for potentially 7 years after a project's completion. Essentially, this mandate for video recording serves as a safety net for everyone involved: contractors, main roads, and most importantly, the public using these roads. It's a proactive step towards creating a safer and more transparent traffic management environment. Of course, there are a few exceptions to this rule. Short-term, low-impact work sites, which are typically smaller projects with minimal traffic disruption, are exempt from this mandatory video recording. Similarly, mobile works, those involving frequent movement along a road, are also exempt. However, for the majority of temporary traffic management projects on main roads, this shift towards mandatory video recording is a game changer. It marks a move towards greater accountability, transparency, and ultimately safety for everyone involved. Now let's delve into the specifics of what these recordings need to capture. According to the Specification 202 Traffic Management Document, contractors are required to incorporate detailed video recording procedures into their traffic management plans. These procedures need to outline how they will capture all the crucial elements on video: the condition of detours and temporary surfaces, the placement and visibility of traffic control devices like signs and cones, and basically anything that impacts the flow of traffic through the worksite. Think of it as a visual checklist, ensuring that every aspect of your traffic management setup is documented for future reference. And it's not just about recording whenever it's convenient. The specifications are quite detailed about when these recordings need to be taken. For example, recordings are mandatory at the start of each workday before any changes are made to the traffic setup. This establishes a baseline record of how things looked before the day's work began. Additionally, recordings are required immediately after any modifications to the traffic guidance scheme. This ensures that any changes, whether it's adding a new detour or adjusting the placement of cones, are clearly documented on video. Furthermore, to ensure ongoing monitoring, recordings need to be taken at intervals of no more than 4 hours throughout the workday. This provides a regular snapshot of the traffic flow and helps identify any potential issues that might arise. Finally, recordings are mandatory at the end of each workday, after any end-of-day traffic management is in place, and importantly, immediately after any incident involving road users within or near the site. This meticulous documentation ensures that a comprehensive video record is available, covering every stage of the work and any unforeseen events that may occur. To maintain a clear audit trail, the timing of each recording must be noted in the daily diary, along with any observations or adjustments made based on the video review. This creates a variable log that connects the visual record with any actions taken to maintain safety and compliance throughout the project. Now let's move on to how these video recordings are handled and stored. The specifications are pretty clear on this. All recordings must be kept for at least 7 days from the date they were taken. After those 7 days, you're free to delete or overwrite them, unless of course someone needs them. This could be the superintendent, the principal, or any authorized personnel, including the police or WorkSafe. It's all about transparency and accountability. If an incident occurs, these recordings become vital evidence. And speaking of evidence, let's talk about the quality of these recordings. The specifications mandate a minimum resolution of 720p, a frame rate of at least 3 frames per second, and of course they need to be time and date stamped. Why all these specifics? Well, the footage needs to be clear enough to show the full width of the road being used by the public, as well as all the associated traffic control devices. Imagine trying to analyze a blurry video after an incident. These requirements ensure the footage is usable and provides a clear picture of the situation. at the time. It's also important to remember that the contractor is responsible for providing these video recordings promptly. If an incident occurs, they need to be handed over to the superintendent immediately. And if the superintendent or the principal requests the recordings, they have 24 hours to provide them. This underscores the urgency of maintaining organized and accessible video records. Of course, all of this needs to be done within the legal framework. The process of recording must comply with the Road Traffic Code 2000 of Western Australia. And any other relevant legislation, it's about striking a balance, using technology to improve safety and accountability while still adhering to the legal guidelines that govern our roads. Now, while these regulations place a strong emphasis on compliance, they also acknowledge that sometimes you need to act fast. The specifications clearly state that nothing should prevent the contractor from taking immediate action to ensure the safety of their personnel, the principal's personnel, or the public. Safety always comes first. However, if for any reason there's a deviation from the video recording requirements, a non-conformance report needs to be filed. This ensures transparency and allows for any necessary corrective actions. It's all about creating a culture of continuous improvement, where even deviations from the norm are documented and analyzed to enhance future practices. This emphasis on thorough documentation of video recording demonstrates a clear commitment to raising the bar in traffic management. It's about moving beyond simple checklists and static images. Video recordings provide a dynamic and comprehensive record of how traffic is managed, fostering greater accountability and transparency in every project. This shift towards mandatory video recording is a major development in how we approach traffic management in Western Australia. It really highlights the growing importance of detailed documentation and how technology can help us make main roads worksites safer and more accountable. As we look ahead, it's worth considering whether similar rules might be adopted for other types of worksites or projects that involve temporary traffic control. The lessons we learned from implementing these new video recording requirements on main roads could pave the way for wider adoption of such practices, leading to safer and more transparent traffic management across various industries and projects. This is about more than just following rules. It's about shifting our mindset towards proactively managing risk and ensuring safety is paramount. In every project we undertake, it's about utilizing the tools at our disposal, like video recording, to create a clear and verifiable record of how traffic is managed, fostering trust and accountability among contractors, regulatory bodies, and the public. Ultimately, it's about creating a safer and more reliable road network for everyone in Western Australia.